Hey guys, on this video I'm going to show you how to import your DXF files into Artworks, and more importantly get your shapes for your T-Light so that you can cut them out. Now we went over in the last video on how to export to DXF, so if you don't know that you'll have to go to the last video. But those files will be saved in a safe location. I can now go import and I'll find my DXF file. Now mine's a bit of a mess because I've been making a few videos and having a few trials. Hopefully this is the correct one. If I double click on it, looks to be the one I want, and I know it's the one I want because it said offset 0.1. Now the other thing too that I know it's the one that's offset is if I click on the shape and I look up here, it actually says that this shape is 50.2 by 60.1. Now the one I want it to turn out 50 by 60, and so that 0.1, if you put 0.1 on either side of 60 you'd get 60.2. so I know this is my correct one. I'm going to do a quick rotate so that it's up the same way as all the others, and so I just went up to rotate here and I put in 90 degrees. While I'm at it, I'm going to make my layer green down the bottom because that's a cut layer, and I'll go over power settings and everything else is in another video. For now we'll just do the geometry and the graphics. So that's all sweet, so I'd get that in there and I would go Control C for copy, and I'd move it along that way. This one here is pretty easy to do. After you've imported in your top, I'm just going to copy and paste it, Control V. To get the circle in place, you've either already done that in Inventor, or you can do simple geometry within this program, and I'll show you how to align it. And it'll be handy for aligning your shapes later on as well. If I click on ellipse, that's the circle tool in this program. It won't give you a perfect circle. If you then select it, you'll see that it's 24 by 25. I'm going to make it 40 by 40. So a 40 mil hole is perfect for a T-Light to go through. While it's red, I'm also going to select my outside. So I've held down shift and I've done a select. So in most programs, holding shift and selecting will make you able to do multiple selections. I'm going to go to these alignment tools and I'm going to make it horizontally aligned. So you saw it just drop then, and we'll go vertically aligned, so it should move to the right. There you go. So it's put it right in the middle now. I'm happy with that. While they're all both selected, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to group them. So that's how I'll make that piece fairly easy. Now to get my graphics into here, if you have drawn a picture or a shape that you want cut out, you're going to use the same technique that you use for your logo to import it into AI and do a live trace. If you've grabbed something off the internet, that's also fine. This is how you'd do it. You'd go File, Place, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my little fairy, which is also known as Tinkerbell, I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to clean up this image and I'm going to do a live trace on it. So if you've got the new edition of Adobe, you'll be able to right click and you'll be able to go to crop image, just okay that one, and you'll be able to pull that up and apply, and that will do the crop for you. I'm now going to click on my image and I'm going to go to Object, Image Trace, and I'm going to go to Make, and I'll have a look at my image trace toolbar. If it doesn't come up, go to Window and Image Trace, and it will come. Mine's selected already because it's there, but if it's deselected, you'd find it under Window and you'll get this toolbar come up. So I'll go back here on my image trace, and hopefully I haven't ruined it by going to and fro, but it should be fine. This is where you change all your values, and that's outlined in another video for bringing in images and doing a live trace on them. Sorry, an image trace. So it looks like it's already done the image trace for me, and that probably happened when I was trying to show you the other toolbars. You could change these settings if you needed, if your picture wasn't perfect. I won't go into that, but anyway, so that's been image traced. I'm going to expand it. Now that it's expanded, I can start manipulating it a little bit. Now, I've had a problem in the past where this worked fine when it was nice and big. When I shrunk it down to fit onto the tea light, there wasn't enough material in between the tip of the wing and the moon, and I was losing this whole piece because that would bridge over, which means anything here, because it's not connected to anything else, it's just going to fall apart. So I'm going to have a go at fixing this. So with that, I'm going to go to my direct selection tool, and what you'll find is sometimes you have an image on top of an image, and it can be a little bit tricky to select things. So what I'm going to do is that'd be the way. Go back to my direct selection tool. Not having much luck there. I'm just going to zoom in with the Control Plus, and now I'm using mouse bar and the left wheel there. So if I select this area here, I should be able to grab an anchor and move that anchor in. This is good, I'm having a win. Okay, now from that you can play around and you can tidy up the shape. I'm just going to do it real rough now so that I can show you. And it might be worth even deleting some nodes. Okay, so I'd play around with that. I'd make her wing look a hell of a lot better than I just did then. And then you can save that image as an AI file and you can bring it across. So I'm going to go into here and I'm going to go import. Here's one I prepared earlier. I fixed her wing. I don't want the big dorky border, so I can delete that. I'm going to grab this, and unfortunately what's happened is it's not all grouped together, and it's going to be super painful to try and select everything here. So I'm just going to go Control Z. I'm going to bring her in again. While it's all red, I'm just going to grab it in the center here, move it off to the left so I can work on it. So I'm going to get rid of this border like I said. Function delete if you're on a Mac to get rid of that. I'm now going to highlight everything and I will group it. So now when I click on one, it's all doing the same. I'll make it green. And I'm also going to shrink it down. So I'm going to left mouse button, I'm going to hold shift, and this is where you'll find RD work sometimes. It gets a little bit glitchy. Oh, it seems to be working okay, which is good. I can then grab this and bring it over. Now that it's grouped, I'm not too worried about putting it on top of other drawings, but when it's ungrouped and had all those stars, that can be a little bit tedious to try and select them all. So basically I'd place that on top of my drawing. I can use my alignment tools again if I wanted by going shift and selecting both items, saying that I want it vertically and horizontally aligned, and then that's looking pretty good. So that's how I'd bring my image in. So into AI, do my live trace, save it, and then bring it across to RDWorks. Something you might want to do is you might want to add text. Now if you make the text green, it's going to cut it out. I found that too much text, really small, the curve kind of eats into each other and you lose a few letters. It doesn't look that good. Danger turned out okay across there for its size. And then I've used blue this time, and I've put text in there and I'm doing a scan, so this doesn't cut the whole way through, it's just written on there. So hopefully that helps, guys, because that's how you're going to bring your pardon me, yawning, going to bring your images across. As far as settings go and all that, I'll talk about that in class, and we'll also have other videos on that. That's just how you're going to get your geometry sorted for your T-Light.